listening to, you are absolutely listening to the George Espenlaub Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you very much. One thing about this bunch around here, they are always ready to go. They don't even have to know where they're going. They're just ready to go. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, whether you're down the street, around the corner, across America, or somewhere around this great big world, you're listening to the George Espenlaub Show right now, coming to you live from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. We don't have a tangible address. We never did, we don't, and we don't want one, because it's a whole lot safer here in our world than it is in yours. And we invite you to come on in. The chat room is open. Excuse me. The chat room is open. Come in, ask questions, mingle with the people. You'll meet some fine people if you come in there. And we're waiting for them to parade on in there. But come in, mingle with the people, and here's our goal. This is our goal. We want to bring a smile to your face. If we can make you laugh, we'll even be happier. And the second thing we want to do is make you just as goofy. What are y'all laughing at? See, these people around here, they laugh because somebody laughed, and they don't even know why anybody laughed. They just laugh when somebody else laughs. You see what I mean? But we want to make you just as goofy as the rest of us. So come on in. I see some people coming in now. Ed just come stomping through the doors. Hi, Ed. He's out there in Ohio. We want you to come in, mingle with the people, and we have a tremendous ladies' afternoon at the farm show for you. Wow, that was a mouthful. I wasn't sure I was going to get that all out. We have with us this afternoon a young lady, and I was talking to her before we went on the air. My goodness, I looked down this list of things that she has done, that she's doing, that she's going to do. I think, well, as far as I know, there's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, but it looks to me like like she has scrunched this stuff up to put it all in that time frame. And she's just one amazing young woman. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me both of your ears, because I want to introduce you now to Niya Nolting. Niya? Did I say Niya right this time?
You got it. Hiya.
It's good to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me, George.
When I was getting ready to say your name, all of a sudden it popped in my head real quick. That don't always happen, but it came real quick. Knees and ya. So I got it. Niya.
Yay!
Yeah. So
Exactamundo.
Yeah. Sometimes I get it. Most of the time I don't. But regardless, we're glad to have you here from out there. Where you at? Or you're in New Orleans right now, but you're from or you're living in Westminster, Colorado?
Correct. I live in Colorado, and Westminster with my husband, Chris Nickerson. He's also in my band. He's my guitarist. And my music producer. I'm here in New Orleans visiting my family. I grew up here. I grew up playing music here on the streets and in the clubs.
Wow.
So ever since I was like 5, I started singing in the choir here. And they just kept throwing me up on stage, and this is what you get.
I was reading that. What's the name of the little town, or what is it?
Oh goodness! I am a Shal Mason from Chalmette, Louisiana. Yeah.
And you've been singing since you were 5. You started in the
Correct.
church choir, then the school plays, then in a rock band known as the Sheltered.
Yeah.
You started singing in the clubs around New Orleans when you was 15. Luckily, you said you looked enough or old enough, and club owners back then were lax. You was voted one of the women in rock in the local New Orleans paper, while still just a Catholic high school girl by day and a rock star by night. My goodness gracious!
Totally.
That is something.
Thank you. You know, I kept it under wraps that I was a singer in high school so that they wouldn't ask me to sing in the school plays. And they were very, very mad at me at the end that I had hidden that. But that was okay. I was exploring.
So when they found out that you did play in a rock band or sing in a rock band, they were upset with you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I did it so dramatically. I went to St. Mary's Dominican High School. That's in uptown New Orleans. And they have a talent show every year. And in my freshman year, I thought, oh yeah, I really want to do this talent show for them, but I'm going to wait till my senior year. So that year I did it. And I did a Sinead O'Connor song that's pretty abrasive, not something very conducive for the Catholic high school, all-girls school. But I did it anyway, and then that's when they figured it out. They were like, wow, you could do this? And we didn't know that. Wow. And they were angry. But, you know, I waited till the last minute, that way I could just cruise out of there.
So you went to a Catholic school. You went to a Catholic school by day. You were a rock star by night. And you started in the church. That I've always found that fascinating because there's so many artists from back in the day, artists from now, and even future artists. So many people got their start in the church. Was you in the church choir regularly?
Yeah, I was. You know, I still sing in church, too, at my church up in Blackhawk in Colorado. You know, and you're so right. There's so many vocalists that I meet and we chat, and we've all got kind of the same story. We started in the choir. My grandfather sang in the choir, so I come from a long list of singers and artists that just, you know, never put their music out there. But he was the beginning. He told me to remember that I'm Welsh, and that the Welsh are known for singing. He told me that one time.
Huh. So you are, I'm not even sure where to start, but let's start here. You're a senior photographer at Aspen Eyes Photography. Is that right?
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I started this business. I mean, I've taken photography forever, and I just started taking photography for events for folks at different venues around where I live, and just doing it for free and learning and getting better. And then people just started asking me if I would come shoot their shows, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. The latest show I did was for Hazel Miller, who I don't know if you know her, but she would be great to get on your show as well. She's the most amazing singer in the Colorado area, but she's from all over the world. And I did some photos for her, and so it kind of couples in that I'm sitting there and I'm studying the band at the same time I'm getting these amazing photos for them to put up on their Facebook pages and You can never have enough photos these days. So the music and the photography live together perfectly in synchronicity, I find.
How long have you been doing this photography stuff?
Oh my goodness! Well, I've been shooting videos and taking photography my whole life because my father is like that too. He's got everything. He's got a video camera. Every embarrassing moment in my life, my father has on VHS somewhere. Oh my goodness!
That that sounds like some good ammunition, especially when
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. If he were my biggest fan, I would be in trouble.
So, you, a hearing instrument specialist, and here at home, Colorado. Now, have you done? I mean, you did that, but are you still doing that?
I am so a consultant for folks with hearing aids, but I'm not taking on new clients right now, so I can focus on the music and the art. But a girlfriend of mine, I'm happy to say, who does the same thing, is taking over, in a sense. So everyone will be taken care of, but I'm taking a little sabbatical from that. It's a really rough industry, the hearing industry. But I feel good. I worked at it 13 years, and I helped so many people hear their family, hear their grandchildren, hear their doctors, hear their loved ones. It's humbled me. It's definitely humbled me, and I'm so grateful I get to help all these people, and that it improved their lives. So it's something I'll never quit because I've learned so much. But just step into a different role right now. It takes a lot of energy to take care of hundreds of people in an office day in and day out. It's unbelievable.
You studied speech, language, and hearing science at the University of Colorado.
Correct.
Explain to us exactly what speech, language, and hearing science is.
Well, I mean, you need to learn the inner workings of the ear, how it works, how it collects sound, and how sound is processed by the brain. So you're learning all of these processes, and then you're also learning how to analyze the tests that you take when you take a hearing test, because it's really analyzing the tests that leads you to picking out the right hearing aid for the person and the proper programming for them. So all of those steps together added up to a really long career, just helping people understand what they're missing when they have hearing loss and how they can get that back and how they can improve their lives.
Now, while you were doing this for these number of years, was you participating in your music career too? Was you moving forward with that?
Yeah, always. It's what I was thinking about what you were talking about, Tracy, with last week. And it feels like when you have this many things that you're trying to pull together and pull with you into the future, it feels like you're like waist deep in water, and like you have all these strings attached to your arms, and they're dragging in the water, and you're just dragging all of this with you as you go. So she's right, it's slow moving, but eventually you make progress, so you just keep going.
With this hearing thing, and I've always been fascinated. I've been married for 51 years, and my wife tells me all the time, and my kids, my grandkids, they all tell me too, Pops, you need to get a hearing aid. And I'll say, what? And when they say that, I always tell them, I like it in my world, and I just don't really want to. I don't really want to hear what's going on out there in your world. But I had some relatives that one of my aunts was deaf, and several others had extreme hearing loss. And I've always been, I don't want to use the word fascinated, I've always been curious. And you have, and it's a ministry as far as I'm concerned, but you've ministered to hundreds of people, and you got this, you were delighted that you could help these people hear what was going on around them, right?
Absolutely, yes. It's amazing how it changes their lives. Like, for example, I know the business so well that I would fit specialized hearing aids for folks. There's a lot of one-sided hearing going on out there, and people have loss in one ear and think that they're stuck that way. But reality is they have a hearing aid called a bicross, where you actually have a microphone on that dead ear, so it looks just like a hearing aid, and it sends the sound over to your better ear, and it blends the sound in. So this one-sided hearing person, actually, to them, it feels like they're hearing out of both of their ears, which immensely improves their processing of speech. And so I have a patient I fit that on, and it changed her world. I mean, you tend to go into your own world, like you said, and you cut yourself off. And she just steps back out into the world again. She's so happy, and her family's so happy. And it was a joy to see her bloom again, and to know that that's possible for people, and they don't even know it's possible. The word needs to get out there that there's help for everybody in one sense or another when it comes to hearing. I wouldn't waste time with it. I would just go for it, just like I'm going for it with everything else.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted, I mean absolutely delighted, to have Niya Nolting with us this afternoon on Ladies Afternoon at the Farm. Tell me, just being married is enough. I mean, I've been married for 51 years, so that's a full-time job. But all these other things that you do. You're a partner in music and life at Microtone Studio. Tell us about that one.
Wonderful. Well, my husband and I have been together 13 years. We've been married 7. And since we first got together, we got this house in Westminster. And my husband's a music producer. He also has a jazz guitar degree. So I say that so nonchalantly, but that's definitely a hard degree to get. And so we you get tired of waiting around. Like, you can't wait around as a musician, expect someone to come and record your album for you.
Right.
Don't wait around. Just do it yourself. So we built a studio in the basement, and it's the real deal. It's amazing. He's produced, I think, something like 25 albums in there. He's recorded 6 of his own. He's recording a third one of mine. And we're self-producing these albums out of the studio. And, marriage, yes, marriage is the most complex thing you can have with another human being. It's in-depth relationship. Do we have our ups and downs? Absolutely. Do I write a lot of songs about it? You bet. I think that makes all the difference, George.
Yeah, that sounds like that might be some good therapy.
I'm telling you what. I can wail about it if I don't feel right.
That's a tremendous outlet. My goodness.
I suggest it for everyone. Even if you sound bad, just wail.
just get it out there, right?
Get it out.
So tell me about the music business, the side of, or the other side of music. And I say this quite often. I was talking to Tracy last week on the show about it. When we see you guys come out, wherever you might be performing, when we see you guys come out on the stage, we see a polished product for the moment, and we get caught up in the sounds and the music, and rightly so. That's why we're there. But as I told Tracy, I'm the guy that would be over there tapping my foot, snapping my fingers, bobbing my head, and shaking my booty. And while that's all going on, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, what was the price that these folks paid to bring this performance out here live to us fans? And so tell me about the hard work that's behind this business.
There's so many steps to it. There's so much that you don't see going on. The social media piece is huge. You're definitely on social media all day long, every day. And then you are also preparing for a show. You have to know, if you're going to play out, you need to know about 4 hours of music if you're really going to play out. So you need to be able to access those tunes, and you're going to build a set list based on the time that you have on stage, and then you're going to rehearse that a million times. And then you're going to get all your equipment together, and you're talking back and forth with the venue, you're promoting the show. By the time you get up on the stage, you've done a ton of background work to get up there and look polished. You also got to look good. For me, I have to stay healthy. I exercise. I eat right. I do everything I can do, and so I can have good vocal health, because my body is my instrument. So I'm doing a lot of physical work as well to make sure that I can physically pull off what I'm doing. To have your chops up good enough to play on stage, you really have to be playing, I would say, 2 to 6 hours a day to keep your chops up. And that means you don't have to sweat if you're going to not play your chords right, or you're going to mess up your percussion or your anything you're playing. So I would say we're working constantly in order to bring you these moments that you see glimpses of. And in the moment, we're trying our best to enjoy those moments too. And all that takes effort too.
Now, do you and Chris do your own booking and your itinerary and all these good things?
We do right now, but we have a couple of booking agents that look out for us and send us gigs. And then we also have the studio, so that helps. So we're interconnected that way. And then my husband also does sound for Broomfield Auditorium. So we've gotten some gigs through them too. I got to open for John Gorka over there. And that's because, we knew who we knew, and they knew we could play. Uh-huh. So it's also who you know, getting your foot in the door for sure.
What do you find in this business? You're a multi-business lady, but in this music business particularly, what do you find is the most difficult part of it all?
I would say the most difficult part is believing in yourself, holding on to that belief that what you're doing is bringing good and doing, making people feel better. And I think having faith in your work. I see a lot of artists. You would be amazed how many artists that are insecure and don't believe in themselves and don't put their work out. Or they'll put their work out, it'll be amazing, and maybe they won't get the recognition that they needed to feel like that work was worth it. And sometimes you've got to recognize for yourself and just keep going. I think that's the hardest part, is just believe and keep going.
That confidence thing, and that's why we bring folks on our show, whether they be authors or scientists. We don't have many politicians because I hear enough of that stuff all day long. But anyhow, I threw that in. It don't cost nobody nothing. But regardless of what walk of life they're in, musicians, so on and so forth. We bring them on because I have always said this. The diamonds that you see out there in the big lights here, there, and everywhere, they're not the only diamonds in the world. I've always believed that near, far, and wide, there are diamonds just waiting to be found. And this is just me personally. I mean, I love music. I love, most types of music. But the folks that I've come across in past years that's in the music business, I have met some, to me, and I'm speaking for myself, I've met some of the, and I'll use the word greatest, some of the greatest artists that I've ever heard in my entire life, and I've been on the planet for quite a while now. And so just for people to gain that confidence, have you met some people, or do you know some people that stuck their, they're like a turtle. They put their head out and they get gone, and then all of a sudden they get shocked and they pull their head back. Do you know of folks like that?
Oh, yeah. Throughout my whole life, I've met folks like that. I do my best to encourage them and, give them affirmation. Like with my jazz band I had, me and the Satellites back in Colorado, my piano player that I got to play, who was amazing, he had put his piano away years before, and I found out that he could play. His son was also in school with my daughter, Luna. And so I encouraged him to play. It took a lot of encouragement, but eventually it got him on an album even, and now he's still playing out, and he's quite a force in Boulder. And he thanks me, and I'm like, hey, it's all you. I was just, giving you the affirmation you need. And so I feel like as artists, it's also imperative that we support each other, because we know what it's like to need that and want it and not be able to ask for it. So I think yes, I've seen it a lot, and I'm doing my best to turn it around. So if you see an artist and you see them playing, take the time to just go up and say you liked it, if you like the song or if you like the music. If you don't want to buy it, fine. But just saying that you like music when you hear it, and you do, that means the world. I say keep that up, and that'll help all of the musicians that are struggling.
I've always said, and I've told I don't know how many people, but if we would just leave our ego at the door, just drop it off and roll it over there in the corner, and don't pick it up on our way out. Just drop the ego and help each other along and push each other up. My goodness, how far could we really go? And that musician that's playing a gig somewhere, between the sets, he might be sitting over there being in a dark spot in his life, contemplating, I'm going to get out of this business, and just that little word of encouragement, hey, man, I like your music. It might light his light bulb up, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. It's so true. It's like you're putting that energy out, and it helps you get some back when people give it back to you in appreciation. Yeah.
It's like food. Without food, our body is going to lose its energy. So we need to feed off of that energy, and that energy comes from each other. As long as we keep that energy moving around, I think we'll do fine. It's when that energy stops that we falter and fall.
Agreed. We just got to keep on moving.
So
keep that energy moving between each other, I think.
So you guys, on the music side of your business, you do it all. Thankfully, you've got the studio right there at your home, and you said this is your third album that you're making?
Exactly. Yeah, it is. The second one was actually an EP that I made to try. I was up for a record deal, and so that's when I did this EP. It was back around Hurricane Katrina, and so that second EP I never released it. It was just too painful. The whole process was too painful. So I actually am releasing that EP one song at a time, which I find is a much better way to get your music across instead of like releasing a whole album. And then I'm going to release the third album, which I'm recording right now. I know it sounds complicated, but I'm just weaving all of this art around so that, you know, I can hit as many people as possible and hopefully get as many people as possible to listen to it. I appreciate it.
While you're here, and ladies and gentlemen, Niya is coming back again. She'll be back with us next Thursday night, and we'll be featuring her. Anyway, Chris can come with you?
Yeah, I think we set it up for 2 o'clock your time is what I had. So he should be able to do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Together.
And we'll be talking to her and hopefully Chris, and we'll be playing their music as we talk. Well, we won't play it while we're talking, but we'll talk, stop, play music. You know, y'all know what I mean. But while you're here this afternoon, where can folks get your music at?
I have a really great website. It's Niya, Niya music.com. And that will lead you to Amazon, Apple, wherever you get your music. All the music is linked to all over the world now, which is really awesome. I've got some fans in New Zealand, and I'm going to go on a little tour next year. So I tell you, it's been worth it. So if you hit me on the website, I will get back to you, and you can get music there as well.
NiyaMusic.com.
Niya Music.
I didn't even have to write that down. I can remember that. Don't ask me why, but I can remember it. NiyaMusic.com. I've been there.
You do the knee analogy.
Yeah.
You do the knee.
Niya. I've been there and checked it out. So it's NiyaMusic.com. So you can go there. My goodness gracious. What's some of the things that you've got planned for your music business?
Well, I mean, there's a lot. I like to shoot videos too, so you will be seeing music videos that I'm producing also coming out. I've been literally spending the last 6 years collecting all these videos of New Orleans and Colorado and my life experience. So it'll be fun. It'll be very family-based album because I wrote it for my family. So I'm going to be finishing that, doing the artwork, doing the copyright, getting it produced, and then also getting the tour where it needs to be, that New Zealand tour in February next year. So my head's down and I'm plowing through.
Did you say you're going to New Zealand?
I'm so excited. I've never been.
Wow. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, man, I can't wait. It's an interesting place. The people there are really, really interesting and just straightforward, like straight shooters. Tell you like it is.
Oh, I like people like that.
Yeah, I think you would really dig it too. I mean, I will keep you posted. You may end up in New Zealand next year too. Who knows? Who knows?
Hey, let's do this. As soon as I find my pencil, my writing utensil. Okay, I got it. Let's do this while we've got you on here this afternoon. We'll do it in front of God and everybody. When you go to New Zealand, if I don't happen to be there with you, if you're there without me, let's do a show while you're in New Zealand.
Awesome.
We've
Yes.
it'll be no problem. We've interviewed people from Australia, Italy, South Africa, so on and so forth. So it'll be no problem. But write that down somewhere where you won't lose it. I'll write it down somewhere and make sure I don't lose it. And when you get there, after you're there, settled and doing your thing, let's do a show from New Zealand.
Oh my goodness. Let's do it. That'll be a blast. I'm gonna have a grin from ear to ear the whole time.
There you go. Wow.
Thanks, George. That'll be a blast.
Oh yeah. Make sure you write it down so you don't forget it.
Oh, my brain's getting better these days. I've got it in there. But I'm writing it down too. Swear.
Tracy and I have this thing when we talk on the phone or when we text. I'll tell her my one-half brain cell isn't firing right, and she'll tell me about her one-half brain cell isn't working right either. So, but you put the two halves together, you got one brain cell.
Yay!
Things work out pretty good when you got one firing, but when it misfires, I mean, it's just total chaos, disaster. But yeah, write that stuff down. Tuck it away or put it somewhere where you remember it.
Okay.
We'll definitely do that. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. She'll be back next Thursday. What do we got you down for next Thursday afternoon or Thursday night? Which one is it?
I had you on the calendar for 2 p.m. your time, so
Okay.
noon my time.
Okay, I got you. So next Thursday at 2 my time, noon your time. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Wonderful, Seth. Wonderful.
Somebody
Thanks again.
Somebody will keep me straight about this anyhow. But in the meantime, go to niyamusic.com. That's niyamusic.com. And you can look her up on Facebook too. My oh my. Listen, do me a favor. Tell your folks I said hello. Tell Chris I said hello. Tell everybody else I said hello. If they're not listening, tell them I said hello. And we are going to see you next Thursday. And we'll be featuring Niya. And hopefully Chris will be with her husband. And we'll be playing the music.
That's right. Come on.
All righty. Listen, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show this afternoon. And you visit with your folks and have a good time. And I just pray that God will just bless you real good. And you're right. Keep your head down and keep on charging.
Thank you, George. God bless you, too.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll see you next week.
See ya.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's a real treat. Put your head down and keep on charging. And it wouldn't be ladies' afternoon at the farm if we didn't play this.
I'm not here for you to blow your one and only chance.
The Swinging 60s.
The Swinging 60s.
The Swinging 60s.
The Swinging 60s.
The Swinging 60s Show with Harry Burt on Spreaker.com.
Hey, this is Harry over here in Ireland. Welcome you to the Swinging 60s Show. Sunday evenings, 2000 hours GMT. I will play Beatles, Kinks, Beach Boys, Carpenters, Elvery Brothers, lots of classic oldies. We have quizzes. We have all things going on here. So Google the Swinging 60s Show. Be heard. Come into the chat room.
And make sure you do tune in to the Swinging 60s. That's my buddy. He's over there in Northern Ireland. My, oh, my, oh, my. Hey, listen, when you go in the chat room, you get to have some moldy bread, some sour milk, and there's all other kind of stuff in there. I see my good friend John Bundy. He goes to Ireland mostly every Sunday afternoon into Harry's chat room, so he can tell you a thing or two about it, but it's a blast. Harry puts on a good show, so please make sure you tune in to Harry's show, The Swinging 60s. Ed is here, but he's probably in and out. Well, he's probably in. We get virtual beer in the chat room. So I mean, you can't beat that with a stick. I mean, so you go there, just Google the Swinging 60s, and it'll take you to Harry's show. You'll love it. You'll love it. He's a lot of fun. Ed Temple's with us. I imagine he's in the classroom teaching. I would think, but he's still in the chat room, so I don't know how he pulls that off. But anyhow, he's out there in Ohio. Hey, listen, the other night we had a man on our radio show by the name of Kurt Lindsley. Man, I have a terrible time with names sometimes. Kurt Lindsley, who is the CEO and founder of Go Purple USA. What a tremendous, tremendous show. And we're doing everything that we can reach out and touch people about this domestic violence thing. October 1st, remember, October 1st, wear purple for Go Purple Day. And take your stand, make your stand against domestic violence. It was a tremendous show. You can go back and listen to it anytime you want to on Spreaker. They put it up on their media page on gopurpleusa.org, so it's there too. But it was a tremendous, tremendous show. My hat is off to that man. I compliment him, and we are supporting gopurpleusa.org. So I just wanted to mention that program the other night left a real impact deep in the marrow of my being, and I mean that with all my heart. And I must say this, unicorn chasing with Maxine and Walter. Unicorn Chasing, CHASIN, Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter, live on Facebook. Look them up. Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter. You ever been to a ring bomb party? Well, if you haven't, go to this one, because those two are just a plain mess. I'm telling you, a lot of laughter, a lot of fun, and you'll find out what ring bombs are all about. They do a fine job. Maxine, she is the nuts and bolts behind that whole operation, so you will enjoy her, and you never know what you're going to get when Maxine hits the screen. We call her the diva, so you look them up. Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter. They go live 2 or 3 times a week on Facebook, and I know that you'll be delighted that you did, and they'll be glad that you came. So much for that. Hey, listen to this. We had a fella here several weeks ago, Zach Day, Mississippi Heat.
The sun rises up from the east. See that heat arrive on the street. Welcome to that Mississippi humidity. Feel that Mississippi humidity. hayfield, be cutting again. Sweat your ass off, praying for a win. It's so hard to breathe at 110. No, it's hard to breathe at 110. The summer heat drives the women wild. They take off their clothes like it's going out of style. Them boys come a rolling for miles and miles. Have them boys a running for miles and miles.
And I'll just bet you 2 donuts to a nickel that you can't listen to that song without tapping your foot. I mean, I don't think anybody, it's impossible as far as I'm concerned. You can't listen to that song without tapping your foot. Hey, I do want to say this. We have always had our radio show and our blog. They coincided with one another. And then when we took a hiatus, that word, hiatus, stop it, Espenlaub. When we took our hiatus some time ago, we took a hiatus from the blog too. I don't know why that tickles me, but nonetheless. But the blog is back up and running. We set up a short piece just last night, just to let people know that we're up and running. We've had over 1 million hits on that puppy over the past several years. So if you want to write it down, and we're going to post it on Facebook and all that good stuff, and then if you're a subscriber or you're on our page, the next post that we put up, it'll pop up there. Anyhow, it's called the Espenblog.com. That's a mouthful. TheEspenblog.com. The Espenblog.com. And you can learn all about the Funny Farm, all the characters at the Funny Farm, the writers, the staff, the whole schmear is on there. So it's back up and running. The Espenblog.com. I want to say this too. On September 27th, that's on a Friday night, we're going to have a young lady here out of Warren, Pennsylvania, who Her, with the help of her parents, started White Cane Coffee. She's a blind lady, blind girl, 22-year-old, fantastic. I mean, incredible lady. 22 years old. She's blind. She'll be on the show with us, and she'll be discussing and sharing with us the things that she went through while she was growing up, some of the cruelty, some of the things that other people did that she wasn't able to be involved in or wasn't invited to be involved in. She couldn't really get a job after she graduated. So her, with the help of her parents, they started White Cane Coffee out of Warren, Pennsylvania. Her goal is to start a White Cane Coffee shop in every community across America. She hires people that have disabilities. She will sell, or she does sell, all different kind of coffee blends on the internet. In fact, my wife and I just we ordered 2 pounds of coffee from her on Monday. This is Wednesday. They arrived this morning. So look it up, whitecanecoffee.com. They've got all different kind of flavors, blends, so on and so forth. So she'll be with us on the 27th, and I'll be telling you more about that. My good friend, Cliff Stevens, out of Canada. And that was my friend Cliff Stevens out of Canada. Tomorrow night, and I can't remember exactly what time it is, but Michael Scott Band will be with us. They'll be in the chair, and we'll talk, and we'll feature the music, and we'll tap our feet, snap our fingers, bob our head, and shake our booty. So mark that down. We've got so many different things that's planned on this show, and yes, John, I was going to try to type it in there, but I couldn't. I couldn't get it done fast enough when it comes to that business. But let me answer your question. We're going to go just a few more minutes, and yes, it is a deviation. But every week we have Ladies Afternoon at the Farm, where we bring a business lady on, and we feature them because one day I was sitting here. This is how it came about. One day I was sitting here doing something. It was on a Wednesday, close to noontime, and I was sitting here doing something, and all of a sudden it struck me. Most of the time it's my wife's hand in the back of my head. No, I'm only kidding. But it struck me. Why not start running a ladies' afternoon at the farm? Because you know what? Them ladies out there, you talk about multitasking. I'm at the age now I can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. But listen, wives, moms, running kids to and fro, back and forth from soccer, football, baseball, piano lessons, whatever the case might be, and running a business at the same time. And then cooking dinner and helping kids with homework, putting them to bed. And I thought, this just has to be. So every week, it might be on a Wednesday, it might be on a Thursday, but every week we try to run a ladies' afternoon at the farm segment just to share what those people are doing out there. And ladies, as I say, every single week, I tip my hat to you. You are tremendous. And men, let's remember, treat those women like a gentleman, all right? Be a gentleman, be kind, be loving, and it'll pay off in the long run. I'm telling you. Now, you mark my words. I've been there, done that, and I've been fortunate enough to be married to the same gal for 51 years, and I wouldn't change a thing. But that's how it all started, John. And yeah, Wednesday or Thursday, we have afternoon ladies at the farm. That's my good buddy, John Bundy, from out there in Colorado. I want to say thank you to Niya one more time for taking the time out of a very busy schedule. Wow. All those things, running a business, being a recording artist, the whole 9 yards, taking time to come in and be with us for a few moments today. And she will be back. She will be back next Thursday afternoon. It's a good thing she told me what time, because sometimes I'd have to be making a phone call and say, what time's this lady coming on? But anyhow, she'll be back. Tomorrow night, the Michael Scott Band will be with us. We'll be doing, the music, the chatting, the featured, and all those good things. My, oh, my. I see that our time is almost done. We're discussing it, talking about it, thinking about it. We might run the show out of Chicago tonight from the Pacific Garden Mission. It's produced and directed by the Pacific Garden Mission out of Chicago, Illinois, entitled Unshackled. We might run a show tonight. In fact, you want to. Oh, nodding their head over there. Okay, they want to. We will. At 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we'll be running the show out of Chicago, Illinois, directed and produced by Pacific Garden Mission, entitled Unshackled. True stories, real life stories, so you don't want to miss it. And all we do is we come in with the intro to our show, and we tell people that this is Unshackled, and then we get out of the way. Get out of the way and let it happen. So tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on Spreaker.com, we will be featuring the show Unshackled. My. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, wherever you're at. It's afternoon here in Delaware. It's a bright, sunshiny afternoon here in Delaware. The temperatures have come down somewhat. It's only about 70 degrees, but that is just so beautiful. So it's afternoon here. Let's see. What time is it? 3 o'clock? So it must be around high noon or just a hair past high noon out there on the West Coast. I guess it's about a little after 1 out there where you're at, John. Harry, I guess it's a little after 8 over there in Northern Ireland. So wherever you're at, I trust that you'll have a fine day or a most wonderful night. So until tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on Spreaker.com, this is George Espenlaub saying thank you for tuning in, and remind people they can go back and listen to the show if they missed it. Download as many copies as you want. Don't cost you nothing. So I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Be kind one to another. Take care of one another. And listen, have a good rest of your day. And I hope to see you tonight. God bless you.